I found this video and I thought it was funny how it shows the police department putting out a video about the dangers of the homosexuals. uh, I remember seeing video cops not too many years ago. They used to go to gay bars, I think mostly in California, and they just go in with clubs and their helmets and everything, just beat the shit out of gay guys in gay bars, drag them out in the street and just beat them all up. Um, I'm not a big endorser of the homosexual lifestyle, but with that said, I also don't believe in going and bothering people, harassing people, beating people up. Kind of just leave people alone. If you're not hurting animals, if you're not hurting kids or what have you, or being a bad person to everybody everywhere, uh, or ripping people off or whatever, just kind of leave people alone. Even if you don't exactly like everything they do, if they ain't bothering you, if they ain't doing something that is bad for you, kind of just leave them alone. But anyways, this is an interesting video. This is from 1961, I think.
I'm Lieutenant Williams, a police officer attached to the Juvenile Division. I'm on my way to Monroe Junior High School to talk to a group of young people. That looks innocent enough, doesn't it? Lots of young people hitchhike. Seems like a good way to get from one place to another. But sometimes there are dangers involved that never meet the eye. Let's take the case of Jimmy Barnes. Jimmy played baseball all afternoon, and he didn't feel like walking home, so he decided to thumb a ride. He'd done it 100 times before, and he didn't think anything was unusual when the driver struck up a friendly conversation. In fact, he seemed like a real nice guy. He asked Jimmy if he played baseball in the park often. Jimmy told him they practiced 3 times a week and played a rival group on Friday afternoon. The stranger was a good listener, too, and it only seemed minutes before they pulled up in front of Jimmy's house. When Jimmy got out, the stranger gave him a friendly pat. Then he told him he'd see him again, as he always drove by the park on his way home. Sure enough, the following day, when Jimmy finished playing ball, well, the man was there waiting. They stopped at a drive-in, and the stranger treated him to a Coke. During their conversation, he told several off-color jokes, but Jimmy had heard others before, and well, it made him feel big to so easily win the confidence of an older person. The following Saturday, they went fishing together. By now, they were using first names. Ralph said it was more friendly. Jimmy hadn't enjoyed himself so much in a long time. Then during lunch, Ralph showed him some pornographic pictures. Jimmy knew he shouldn't be interested, but, well, he was curious. What Jimmy didn't know was that Ralph was sick, a sickness that was not visible like smallpox, but no less dangerous and contagious, a sickness of the mind. You see, Ralph was a homosexual, a person who demands an intimate relationship with members of their own sex. But by now, Jimmy felt a fondness for Ralph, and they continued to go places together. Ralph was generous and took Jimmy many interesting places and did many nice things for him. He bought presents and even gave him money, but payments were expected in return. You see, Jimmy hadn't recognized Ralph's approach soon enough. When Ralph first asked Jimmy to go fishing alone, he should have discussed it with his parents or teacher. Finally, Jimmy told his parents, and they reported it to the juvenile authorities. Ralph was arrested, and Jimmy was released on probation in the custody of his parents. But all homosexuals are not passive. Some resort to violence, as in the case of Mike Merrick. Public restrooms can often be a hangout for the homosexual. Bobby and his friends hadn't noticed the man who had been in the restroom when they changed, and as it was late, he suggested they take the shortcut under the pier, but the others preferred to take the more traveled way home. When Bobby recognized the stranger as the man in the restroom, the shortcut under the pier didn't seem like a good idea at all. After all, it's more fun to stay with your friends anyway. Bobby had made a wise decision. It may have saved his life. The decision is always yours, and your whole future may depend on making the right one. So no matter where you meet a stranger, be careful if they are too friendly, if they try to win your confidence too quickly, and if they become overly personal. One never knows when the homosexual is about. He may appear normal, and it may be too late when you discover he is mentally ill. So keep with your group, and don't go off alone with strangers unless you have the permission of your parent or teacher.
Now, the ironic thing is, if the cops want to warn people about creepers, they should warn people about creepy cops, because cops murder people every day in this country and kidnap innocent people every day in this country and violate people every day in this country.
Hello.
Howdy.
I'm Deputy Clark with the Sheriff's Office.
Mhm.
Just checking on you. Everything all right?
So again, this guy had zero reason to pull me over. No traffic violation. There's no law against riding a bicycle around, especially on private property, especially 100 yards from your house. I got the reflector, I got the lights, I got the horn, I got the whole deal. The bike's legal as they can get. Okay. Absolutely no reason to pull me over at all, except the word is out I'm this guy who lives here. Sometimes I go out riding a bike. Keep an eye out for him and see if you can fuck him over. Because he's that guy that writes letters about corruption in the papers and on websites and makes videos about corruption. And he was targeted by corrupt county commissioner John Berger, who's a buddy of Sheriff Terry Tanner, who tried to fuck me over with a lying bunch of shit. And it's all connected. All this shit in this shithole county of DuBois County, Indiana, it's all these people are connected. It's the courthouse, it's the, every little office, every little shithole place. All these corrupt people, they all kind of know each other and they all kind of stick together. And if you criticize one of them, they kind of all come after you. The 911, the dispatch, they play a part in it too. They'll set you up with lies and all this shit.
What's your name, sir?
Ben, what's your name, little boy?
What's your name, sir?
Ben, what's your name, little boy?
What's your name, sir?
Ben, what's your name, little boy?
What's your name, sir?
Ben, what's your name, little boy?
What's your name, sir?
Ben, what's your name, little boy?
What Jimmy didn't know was that Ralph was sick, a sickness that was not visible like smallpox, but no less dangerous and contagious, a sickness of the mind. You see, Ralph was a homosexual. Ralph was arrested, and Jimmy was released on probation in the custody of his parents.